This is unbelievable. So now at this point we put on our tzitzis and we come out of the bathroom, because in the morning you use the bathroom, generally speaking, and if you're not, you're probably dehydrated. And really you're supposed to also try to make a number 2 in the morning. That's part of Jewish law. It is, I'm not kidding you. Jewish law covers every single part of life, which includes being a healthy human being. So if a person's waking up and he's not moving that stuff, so the Rambam says that's the beginning of all sickness. And we have an obligation to keep ourselves healthy. You can't just do things that make you unhealthy, especially over a prolonged period of time, because that really makes a person unhealthy. And therefore, one of the ways to stay healthy is to wake up in the morning and have a movement. That's part of Jewish law. And try your best to get into a regular rhythm of that. So at least to go to the bathroom and then to try to keep things moving. And the Rambam gives you certain exercises that you could do. He describes the type of formula of walking a number of feet, 4 amos, 6 feet, squatting, standing up, walking back, squatting, like a whole exercise regimen of helping the situation. Sometimes I show people, other times people know what to do. Squat is a squat. You just walk and you squat and you get up and then you walk and you squat. The position of the body is very good for keeping things going. So far, so good. After a person comes out of the bathroom, he washes his hands because he was in the bathroom. There is a blessing. There's a meditation that we do, which is unbelievable. This is one of the first things that people notice when they come to yeshiva and they start learning Torah, is that people come out of the bathrooms and then they start talking quietly, generally. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like what was that? It's like, oh, I just went to the bathroom. Yeah, I saw, but like, what did you say after? I said, oh, I said a blessing. Really? Like, in the bathroom? Yeah, actually. Like, what's it about? We're going to learn about that today. What's it about? It's about that everything's working properly. Thank God. Right? Everyone's like, seriously? Because when it's not good. It's not good. And therefore, we want to have appreciation that things are working. Which, just think about that for a second. The amount of appreciation that the Jew is here to share with the world is that we don't take anything for granted. The fact that, as we're going to see in a moment, the opening of that area was open, that something could come out. Wow, thank God it was open and not closed. And the things that are supposed to be closed in my body and not be leaking, thank God they're closed. And everything's working properly. Like, really? Like a blessing on that? Yeah. Aren't you appreciative that it's working properly? And sadly, the time that people stop appreciating it, things, God forbid, oftentimes go wrong, God forbid, and then Hashem has to remind them to appreciate it. So let's go through that blessing. So we'll see that today. We say, Baruch Ato Hashem. We've mentioned many times what those words mean. Baruch means, God, you're the source of all blessing. All the blessing in the world comes from you. And Ato, you, Hashem, it's from you. It's from you. Who are you? Yud and a Hey and a Vav and a Hey, which means existence. Your infinite, loving existence. Elokeinu, and you're ours. You're our God. There's a relationship. And you know what else? You're also the king of the world. You're Melech HaOlam. That formula is the beginning of basically all brachas. That's a formula that should be thought about a lot. Kabbalistic prayer books, just to get through those words is like a lot. Because there's a lot of thought that goes into those particular words. Now we're going to the specifics of the bracha of coming out of the bathroom. Asher yotzar esa adam bechachma. God, you made man with unbelievable wisdom. Man, I mean human. unbelievable wisdom. That it's a wondrous being. Uvaravoi nekavim nekavim. And God, you put inside of humans, animals also have this, but they're not conscientious enough to say an articulated bracha with words. God, you put inside of us many holes. What are some of the holes? Nose, mouth, ears. There's holes in the system. Eyes. There's also pipes in the body that are that have holes in them. There's vessels. There's
a lot going on.
There's a lot of holes in there. Thank God. Thank God there's holes. And you also made many, many organs that are chalulim, that are hollow organs, and that are closed up, and that are protecting and storing things. Good thing is those hollow organs are not holy. They're holy. They're made by God. They're not holed through and nothing leaking out of them. What would be those types of organs?
Stomach,
the heart,
lungs,
kidney.
Yeah. There's the liver. It's a good thing that actually there is a sac that's holding things in it.
Appendix, yeah.
And there are maybe a hole in a certain location, but it's not filled with holes. It's not like the heart, God forbid, has holes that are unnecessary. That would be very bad. That's very bad. That's life and death. And you made these organs that are hollow and are storing liquids and are able to keep that which needs to be in the body of that organ there and not just leaking out like all over the place. If the stomach had holes in it, was just leaking into like the internal body cavity, that would be a big problem. A leaky gut. And if it's really bad, it hernias out and it's horrible. You want to keep that intact. Okay, the small intestine, the large intestine. These are very important that they should not have holes in them. In the wrong spots. And you keep these organs that they're able to move nutrients and move things through the body as necessary, but not leak out along the way. Galui via, which is awesome. We just went to the bathroom and now we're just, God, whoa, awesome. Galui via dua lifneich hisei chavodecha. God, it is known, it's revealed and known before the throne of glory. We're talking about the throne of glory, Shlomo. The throne of glory. You just come out of the bathroom and you're talking about the most exalted. I know someone's going to laugh at that one. And that wasn't my intention, I'm saying. The lowliest throne, by the way, that's one of the reasons why you're not supposed to say I'm going to the base. Because the base is too generic. Are you going to the base hakise? We call a bathroom the base hakise. We do call it the throne room, basically. The house of the seat. Because that room is dedicated to a seat. Base hakise. But what we're talking about when we leave that seat, what you would see is very lowly. You're not even allowed to learn Torah there. We come out and we talk about the highest concept of a throne in all of existence, which is God's throne, His throne of glory, which is the place where our souls are carved out of, which is the most exalted place. When the king is sitting on his throne, what is symbolic about that? Just to give you a picture of what it means God is on his throne. Let's go to a king of flesh and blood. If you go to the palace and the king is not on his throne, what does that indicate?
He's doing something.
Could be he's in the bathroom.
There's an unsettling about it.
That's right. Why? There's a feeling like, who's running this? When the king is on his throne, it's clear who the one running things is. He's sitting on his throne. That's why the throne is exceptionally symbolic of a king, is that he is managing, he's running. It's like when the Rebbe comes and he's sitting on his throne. The Rebbe's here. It's like everything is in order. The king is running things. So when we talk about the throne, so to speak, God is not physical. But when we talk about where God is sitting, we're referring to the way that God is running all of existence. That there's a plan, that he's guiding everything. So when you come out of the lowliest throne, the one that you're dealing with excrement and feces, you take mention that you, God, all the way in the highest realm of how you run the world, you're also concerned that this bag in me, excuse my language, of just feces, should be operating properly. Meaning for you, the king, there's nothing too small and under your dignity. You care about everything. From on high, you're not separated from us. From on high, you're aware that everything should be operating the way that it should. Which is awesome. We don't mention this concept of the Kisei HaKavod in other brachas. But in the lowliest place, when we come out, we acknowledge that God was also there, which means certainly he's everywhere in between. That God is known before your throne of glory. She'im yiposeach echad mehem. If any of these organs, which are supposed to be closed, were to puncture or rupture, o yisasem, or any of the organs which are supposed to be open, close up, like the trachea, that's got to be open. That's an open pipe. Or where the food goes down. That's got to be an open pipe. If that, God forbid, would close up, even one of them, Efshar liskayim, it would be impossible to live, v'lamoid lefanecha, to stand as a human being alive, afilu shaychas, even for a moment. Some add that, afilu shaychas, some don't add that. What that means, even one moment, many of the commentators say that means when a person is born. If when a person is born, all the things that are supposed to be open are not, and all the things that are supposed to be closed don't close up, then the baby, God forbid, will not survive. Lo aleinu chas v'shalom. That everything has to work so perfectly right at that second. Baruch atah Hashem. Hashem, you're the source of all blessing, your existence. You're the master of everything. Roife chol bosar, that you heal. You heal everything. Healing in this case means you help waste leave the system, because the Rambam points out one of the first signs of all sickness is guys or girls or animals are not going to the bathroom. That's right, everybody knows it. If it's not working properly, then disease, God forbid, will ensue shortly thereafter. So it's always hard for me when I hear somebody like, Rabbi, is it not good that I haven't gone in a week? Yeah, that's not good. That's not good, for sure. We talk about everything here, everything. That's not good. We have to fix that. We have to get things regular, moving. It's got to be, because if the waste is not coming out, so then there's going to be auto-intoxication. Then the waste just recirculates through the system. And one of the ideas of how to help is a line, just remember this one, the solution to pollution is dilution. So if there's a lot of pollution in there, you got to dilute, get some water going through the system. That's one of the easiest ways, is dilute, in order that things can move out. Is dilute it, and that's going to push stuff out. So God, you allow, thank God, when things are working properly, and it's all from you, that even that the peristalsis can work and everything can work, and it's the things that are open, so they open, things that are closed, and that waste can actually get out of the body. It's a crazy thing. We eat food, and it just sits there and gives us nutrients, but we want to make sure the waste leaves the system. And then we end umafli lasois. And Hashem, you do all of this in a wondrous, wondrous way. One of the main points of this is that, you know what's wondrous? The Torah speaks about a very interesting concept. Is that anybody ever have a balloon, blow up a balloon? And what happens, and you tie it? What happens if you get a little hole in the balloon? Where does the air go?
Oh.
It goes out. What if you made a water balloon? What if you fill it up with some liquid? Gets a hole, it leaves. The Torah says we're like this balloon. We've got all these sacks filled with liquid and air. We're filled with air. But the funny thing is, there's holes everywhere, and the air doesn't go out. It's not like all of a sudden it's just like, it's like a balloon, like whoop. The air stays in. How does it stay in? There's all these holes everywhere.
And the water we have in our body.
Yeah, there's holes everywhere.
70% water.
Even the skin is an amazing organ,
Yeah.
and we sweat out. It's an unbelievable thing.
Same with mental health. The bad stuff, if you don't let it out, it'll just explode. You know, you have to have an outlet.
That's right. So here we have an amazing umafli lasais. God, you're amazing. How you create, and there's so much you could say about how the human being is created and works. And every time that you go to the bathroom, every single time, when you come out, you say this blessing of appreciation. Oh God, thank you so much. Everything's working. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. By the way, this is one of the most wondrous, wondrous cures if people are having physical ailments, is that people should be extra careful to make this blessing. There have been miraculous stories of people who had all sorts of physical ailments, and they took upon themselves, I will never miss Asher Yatzar. Bli neder. I will always say it. I will not miss it. And wondrous things happen. And to take intention that every single word you say properly. The Seder Hayoim says, say Asher Yatzar bekavana gedola mila b'mila, word by word. Every word, you know what you're saying. Va'az lo yichla kol yamav, and you will not have sickness. V'lo yitztarach l'roife. You won't need other external healing modalities. This is all that you're saying it all properly. It's an amazing, powerful, powerful segula that was given to us, is to say it. On a simple level, it's also an appreciation of connecting to God. I went to the bathroom. How many just go to the bathroom like, on with work, on with the day? Whoa, bro. You just went to the bathroom. Thank God. Like, can I ask you, was it working? Yeah. Why do you ask? Because you're happy that it was, right? Yeah. I'm very happy, actually. I wasn't thinking about that, but thanks for mentioning it. So let's thank God. Let's thank God that everything is working properly. This is the beginning of our day. We should have tremendous health, all of us, filled with health and well-being, to say the bracha of Asher Yatzar with kavana, to know what we're saying. There's one more wondrous thing that God does to us. The Rambam says, mafli lasois, that you made it wondrous, that there's something even more wondrous than anything we've even mentioned, is that you have a body which is physical. But you know what else God put in your body that doesn't run away?
Your soul.
Your soul. Which is interesting. I had a bunch of holes in here. Why doesn't the soul just like, whoop, fly out? How does the soul even fit into a physical body? That's also wondrous. How does the soul not just like, just pop out, move to another person, fly up to the moon or something, give a high five to Elon on Mars? The soul is able to stay in the body, which is physical, and the soul is spiritual. That is also a wondrous thing. So I think about that as well when I come out of the bathroom. Thank you, Hashem. You've done wondrous, wondrous things. My body is a testament. Mibisari echse eloika. Just from looking at my body, I see how wondrous you are, God. We should be zoich to this. we should have the appreciation of how amazing our bodies are and be tremendously healthy, us and our families, and build the base of Mikdash b'mehera v'yameinu. Amen.
Amen.
Kol tov. A wonderful day, my friends.
Todah.
Todah rabah.
Are you?